eyes for you. Love you like the ocean, love you in slow motion. Anything it takes to make you stay. But I can't rely on you. Doesn't matter what I do. You say you need a time, I think you mean a buyout. Cause it's pretty clear you're on your way out. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face, you're sorry. And I quit my job for you, even quit some friends for you. Cause you couldn't stand it, me all independent, so you had to have me for yourself. That was when I trusted you, when I could add up 2 and 2. When you promised we'd be together, you, me, forever. Now there's nothing left to lose. And though I understand it's hard sometimes to make up your mind in these trying times, yeah, I just can't accept you leaving me when I'm overseas with the heart so heavy. Think that I deserve the truth for once, not a guilty tone, cause you're not alone, yeah. You said you wanna come home, but I know you don't. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face, you're sorry. This time I think I get it. This love was overrated. No more infatuated. And I blame it on you, I blame it on you, yeah. This time I hope you get it. In love you shouldn't fake it, no. I'm old enough to take it. So just say it to me, say it to me. So this time I won't hear it on the phone. If you got something to say to me, then say it to my face. What it's all about, why you're bailing out. Think you owe me an apology. Just say it to my face. You're sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. You're so sorry. Say it to my face. You're sorry. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Before it's over. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. I remember when you told me it's alright. Don't know why I could not see. We have to stay together now. Save me some time. Come help me find the light. I am looking for a fire to keep me on the line. Yeah, a fire with a dazzling light. And I don't know if I am closer. Still looking for a fire in the end of the night. So don't hide it, 'cause I know that you do. I know that you do. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. Wait for me, baby. I gotta find it now. I gotta find it now. You say that you will change the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you wear your hair. Change the way you dress, the way you kiss, everything, 'cause you are scared that I might leave you. Well, why should I leave you? Baby, please don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for me, just the way you are. And I don't ever want to leave you. Baby, don't you talk to me that way. And I'm sorry if I sound a little harsh, but I don't know how to get through to you. Because you don't seem to know that you are everything a girl could dream of. Baby, won't you hear me? Don't talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect
So casually keep diving into concrete, so bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, and maybe just a better kind of bitter, bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic, dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark, and maybe just a better kind of bitter, 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 bitter. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
What a night, people dancing in slow motion, blurry eyes. But I've had enough, it's time to say goodbye. 3 a.m. as I'm walking home with a smile. Smoky moon, like a shiver, all the shadows fade away. All your streets are empty, lights begin to sway. 4 a.m. as I think, oh, Stockholm love. Sometimes I picture how life had been in Paris or New York or Shanghai. But you know what they say, east or west, our home is best. Warming rays, golden sunlight as the sea
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Jay Red Unfiltered, and we are back with another show. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a great, what is it, Thursday? Oh man, this week has been just going by so slow. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hope you guys are doing well, though. I just want to say that for those of you that are tuned in right now, I just want to say I appreciate you because you could literally be anywhere. You could be doing anything. You could be watching anybody, but you're here watching me, and I appreciate you rocking out with me. I appreciate it. You're tuned in, and I appreciate it. You know, and I just can't express that enough. I'm grateful to you, and thank you. I hope you enjoy the show. And what a show is going to be because today I want to tackle the myth. And I have bigger plans for this topic, but honestly, I just couldn't hold it in anymore because when we look and see the things that are going on in today's society, it all comes back to the men. So we really need to have a conversation about that. So before we do that though, we gotta go ahead and speak because you guys are so appreciated. Thank you. Veronica says it's cap. It's cap, man. I assume you're referring to the toxic masculinity. Yes, man. Toxic masculinity is cap. Spoiler alert. I'm just not with it. But we'll get into it. Maria says, "Hi Jay. Hey Maria. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, guys. Well, it's morning where I am, so hope you guys are doing well. First things first on my agenda is I want to have this conversation. And I want to use this example just for us to literally see how far indoctrinated this media campaign against men, this just societal campaign there is against men to make men just feel everything about men is supposed to be criticized or under scrutiny. And it's just
Deliverance.
sad.
FedEx.
Listen to this, guys. This is the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life.
Meat creates toxic masculinity, according to a university professor. Eating meat is bad for you, it's bad for the country, and it reinforces gender stereotypes, apparently. But it tastes so good. Joining me now, Dr. Delestre.
Look at him. He can't even keep a straight face. He can't even keep a straight face. Look at him. Look at him. He couldn't even keep a straight face.
Okay, doctor. Why is eating meat bad, really?
Well, we have to back up because I think at the beginning just said eating meat creates toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
The toxic masculinity is already there.
It's already there. Does eating meat make toxic masculinity worse?
It's one of the ways in which it can reinforce existing kind of social structures, including patriarchy.
Well, how does that reinforce social structures that...
I'm just letting you guys know, whenever I hear the words patriarchy in a sentence more than 3 times, I check out of the conversation. Abort mission. We're Oscar Mike.
where men dominate eating meat.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
We'll break it down for
How about this, though? You said we had 4 or 5 minutes, right?
Just keep it simple. How does eating meat make the genders unequal?
Eating meat holds a lot of symbolism. And it really is too much to explain in 4 minutes. But it has to do with the fact that our individual level decisions, the things we decide to do as individuals, what we consume, what we put on our bodies, the things we buy and put in our households, are fundamentally political acts.
Okay.
Right? The personal is political.
Okay. So I'm having a steak right now because I'm starving.
I hear you. I wish I could have half of that, but this doesn't look vegan, and I'm trying to be vegan.
You're a vegan.
That's funny. I admire that. I admire that level of trolling. I admire that. Guys, sorry, I just want to take a second and just suit check. Let's see. Okay, proper length on the cuffs. Oh, nice striped shirt, polka dot tie, differentiating the patterns. Okay, navy and red always goes together. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, this guy's got it going on. Nice presidential pocket square. Oh, nice. Good job, guy. Love to see it.
It's really hard because I don't know if
He's incredibly disrespectful, by the way. That is so trolly to sit there and this woman is sitting there telling you, this woman is sitting there telling you they're eating meat, and you just go sit there and just eat meat in front of her just to shit on her point or to crap on her point. I like it. I like it. I'm here for it. That's funny.
Jim from Wisconsin,
Okay.
and cheese was like one of my favorite things.
See how that looks pretty good. That's a little rare, medium rare.
Yeah.
Is
Got
this
some nice dead animal, dead cow hanging?
Don't get it medium rare, guys. You gotta get it medium, just medium. Medium is enough. I promise you. You get it medium, that's perfect. Perfect. Medium is perfect, guys. Love me a good steak. But it just can't do rare. It just gotta be medium. Don't give me medium well. Definitely don't give me that cardboard well done. No, just give me a nice medium steak and I will be happy. Just a little, I want that red juice to still come out, but yeah, just not as much, not as much.
On your fork.
is this bad that I'm eating meat?
If you go hunting, that's a totally different story, right? The blood's on your hands. Right now, you're kind of just enjoying the benefit and the blood's on someone else's hands, and that's not very fair.
What if they want to hunt meat, or what if they want to raise cattle?
But what does that have to do with toxic masculinity? Fair? No, that's not how it worked. See, this is the problem when people try to sit and contort history, because this is kind of the interesting thing that we see. We see people try to frame things like, oh, it's not fair and not fair. Do you know what the role of hunters and gatherers were in the tribe? They brought meat back so other people could eat it. Everybody was not a hunter. Everybody was not in the hunting party. The best of the best were in the hunting party. And they brought meat so that the tribe could eat. Human tribalism has been going on for a long time, and humans have been gathering together for a long time. And it's just, yeah, this is not right. It's not right what people are doing.
Oh, totally. But the idea of killing and taking a life, that we should really deeply consider what that means for us as human beings. You know, people have said you should judge a society by how it treats their animals. And it'd be great if we had universal health care for our animals.
Universal health care for animals, that could be expensive.
We can afford it. Look.
Really? Because we're $20 trillion in debt.
I got some money.
Do you care more about people or animals?
I care about our world, and I think in order for us to achieve a more sustainable future, particularly regarding what's happening with climate change, we need to figure out how the 7.6 billion of us on this planet can be good neighbors. And we're really bad at being good neighbors right now.
Okay, so why should I be a good neighbor to a squirrel?
Well, you don't have to worry about, if you don't want to worry too much about the squirrel right now, the squirrel's part of nature, right? If you keep killing nature, what's going to happen to us, right? If we as people keep killing nature. Me too, right? Like, I still eat cheese a lot. It's not like something that's going to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect at it.
But what if you're just hungry and the animals are there for us to enjoy for dinner, for lunch,
'Cause God said
for
so.
breakfast?
Did God tell you that?
Well, I mean, why would they taste so good if we weren't supposed to eat them?
God specific. Oh God. Oh God, indeed. Isn't there specific scriptures in the Bible telling you what you're allowed to eat? And meat is some of them. Meat is some of that. What are you talking about? Do you even know? That's why I hate when people bring religion and God up to justify these secular points that they have. It's just ridiculous. It's silly. At the end of the day, what were sacrifices? Killing of an animal and offering it to God. What were the feast? What did God tell Adam to do? He told them to go out and hunt animals. They hunted animals. So what are you talking about? What do you mean did God tell you that? He allows it.
Sugar tastes good.
Yeah, I eat sugar too.
Obesity, diabetes.
Well, I mean, I have some sugar, but
I mean, you clearly have a lot.
I don't just pour sugar down my throat.
You clearly have some things around like who you are that protect you, and like especially a lot of, I think, financial resources to like do things like buy really expensive steaks.
Okay.
So that's also part of the problem, is that some people are really taking up more than their fair share of, you know,
So
plate.
The rich people are stealing all the steak from the poor people.
Surplus value.
Okay, well, you know what?
I got a book for you.
I'm going to go take this
Wait,
steak
can
and
I
I'm
get the
going to
book?
go give it to a homeless guy.
This is why it's such a problem and it's so hard to deal with leftists, because their arguments are completely nonsensical. She just told this man that because you have more money and resources, that it's not fair because other people don't have those same resources. Well, guess what? Other people have those same opportunities. Yeah. Other people have those same opportunities. And that's what I believe in. I believe in equality of opportunity. I don't believe in equity. I don't believe in equity because equity is not going to help make you any better. It destroys merit. It destroys merit. No, I believe in equality of opportunity. Everybody has the same opportunity to go out there and hustle and figure out a way to get some money legally, but yet and still, they don't want to take advantage of it. So don't criticize people that have for being for have not, for the people that don't have. Marcus Harrison says, "What up, Jay? Just tapping in. Good morning to everybody." Good morning, Marcus. What's going on? Appreciate you for stopping through. Yeah, basically just to catch everybody up, what we're talking about is toxic masculinity. And I'm just using this video to basically articulate how nonsensical just the idea of toxic masculinity is, and the fact that in the media, even just so far as what's going on, there's a constant attack. And I appreciate this, as much as I hate to say it, because he was respectful about it. I appreciate him mocking her by eating a steak in front of her face. Because at the end of the day, men have to stop apologizing for being men. And we have to get to a point where we don't allow these women that don't appreciate masculinity to stop dictating what's okay for us to be a man. What is okay? You can't sit there and call masculinity toxic, because masculinity isn't toxic. What it is you might run into a situation where maybe you just met a toxic person who has masculine traits. Maybe those are two different things, two distinct things. There's a difference between masculinity being toxic and running into a toxic person who has masculine traits. And if you want to say that the person is toxic, okay, we can debate that. But the idea that masculinity in itself is toxic and femininity is somehow exempt from that, no, we're not going to accept that narrative anymore. And that's what I'm always talking about. When I say that the black community and just men in general, we need better image, a better representation. And the truth of the matter is, if people don't actually speak up about this stuff, and then it's never going to get addressed. And I'm not just talking about just having these conversations, but I'm talking about really standing on business behind the fact that it's okay to be a man. It's okay to be a man. It's okay to be a man. And it's nothing wrong with the very thing. Like, think about the things that they love to say about men. They say, oh, aggressive, just strong, talk over people, argumentative, just all these things, competitive, prideful, all these things that if we were back in nature, having to hunt and gather and defend a tribe from wild animals, guess what? All those traits, those men, those very same men that you're saying toxic, those are the men that you would be crowding around. Those are the men that you would be huddled around. You wouldn't be worried about, You wouldn't be worrying about personality, and you wouldn't be worried about love language. You wouldn't be worried about quality time. No, you'd be gathering around the man that you knew that could protect you the most. And guess what? Those traits are exhibited through testosterone. And this is how you know I'm so unbiased, because just because I say something doesn't mean that I'm a beneficiary of it. My job is to tell the truth. So tell the truth. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that everybody will be trying to crowd around and all that kind of stuff. Guess what? That's life. I'm not gonna call the man toxic because he's doing what he got to do. He's being who he got to be. We got to sit here and listen as men and constantly have everything we do just put under scrutiny. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah. And Maria, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. She says, I know that's right. I want to feel safe. Soy boy would be running from danger faster than me. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And I'm not saying I'm a soy boy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that what I'm saying is those are the type of men that the left and Western culture and society is trying to push men to becoming. Have you guys ever heard about have you heard about what the problem that they have going on in Japan right now, right? They really have a huge problem in Japan, and it's because of the declining birth rates. And the declining birth rates in part is because they had a lot of men are considered weak over there. They literally have what they call herbivore men. Herbivore men. Do you know that an herbivore man is basically a man who is really feminine, really sensitive, scared to approach women, and then they have an incel problem. So couple those two together. Now, let's actually look more in detail about that. All right. Let's look at this video.
Try Airwick Vibrant for up to 60 days of amazing fragrance.
Hey guys, it's Kay from Asian Boss. Whenever the mainstream media discusses the issue of low birth rate in Japan, they just can't seem to stay away from the perception that Japan is sexless. We previously did a street interview on this subject, so check out for yourself if Japanese people agree with this perception. In this video, we're going to find out if Japanese men are to be blamed for the sexless trend. Are Japanese men too passive and feminine? Is this negatively impacting dating in Japan? Well, let's see what people have to say.
日本では、草食系男子っていう言葉があるんですけど、それってどういう意味か教えてもらえませんか？
自分からガツガツいかないで。
Okay. Let's go back to that part.
Impacting dating in Japan? Well, let's see what people have to say.
日本では、草食系男子っていう言葉があるんですけど、それってどう
They said, could you explain what that means, because they're talking about the herbivore men.
いう意味か教えてもらえませんか？
自分からガツガツいかないで、ちょっとないよない。
Someone who is indecisive.
してる感じ。
It's like they almost expect the girl to take the lead.
一歩踏み出してくれるのを待ってる男子。
草食系男子ってなんかこういうのは典
So how do you distinguish an herbivore man?
型的な格好とか振る舞いとか、なんかありますか？
服装で言ったらそんな勝ち気じゃない感じが多いかなって思いますね。
ジェルを髪の毛につけたらもう全
I'm not gonna read these subtitles for y'all guys. Hopefully you guys can see it. But real quick, Marcus Harrison says they say that in Japan adult diapers sell more than baby diapers. Yeah, and it's crazy because nobody's having sex. They're not having sex. They're not getting married, and they're not having kids. And if they are, they're married to these weak men that just they have very low testosterone levels. So Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. And what they have going on there, it's really a warning sign, and that's why I'm doing this, because it's a warning sign.
肉食ですねそれは。俺みたいにガタイがいいとまあそれ肉食っぽいんですけど、ひょろいのはやっぱ草食ですね。
細い体が細い体が細い。結構トレンド取り入れてる感じ。
振る舞い方とかはどうなんですかね。どういう感じで違うんですか。
草食は割り勘だけど、その肉食は
This man just said a herbivore man would split the bill on a date. Would go 50-50, would go Dutch. You hear what this man just said?
ちょっと強がってやっぱおごっちゃう
A masculine man would pick up the whole bill.
みたいな。
そうですね、自分から話題振らないか
Don't initiate
なっていうのは思いますけど、
全部に対して受け身のような気がします。
passive towards everything.
ちょっとコミュ障緊張しちゃって自分が思ってるようなことを口にできない。
なんかやっぱり草食系の人は、そのデートの場所とか、その決めるのが、優柔不断だったり。
日本人の男性の何割が草食系だと思いますか。
3割6割
30% ぐらいじゃないですかね。
6割くらいじゃない
6割そんなに
だって今さ20代のさ男性でさ、恋人いないの半分以上だよ。
マジ、
実はですね、アンケート調査によると20代の男性の 61% と30代の男性の 70% が、自分は草食系だって言ってるんですけれども、ショックですか。
結構多い、男性から来てもらった方が嬉しいっていうか、自分からいけないからあんまり。
30代 70% もそっか、もう俺年だからもう無理かなみたいな。
ああ、そういう系なのかな。
ちょっと待ってください。それってやばいですか。正確な数字だと思いますか。それともやばいと思いますこれ。
まあでもそれぐらいじゃないですか。
そうだね。
はい。
現実的。
少子化が進むよね。
Guys, and I just, like I said, I just think, oops, sorry about that. Oops. Struggle streaming. Sorry about that. Oops. My bad. Yeah, and I just think that just goes to show. I'm gonna try to find another video real quick. But yeah, like here we go. This one I was looking for.
You want my
自分に自信がないですね。もうずっと昔から学生の頃とかにやっぱり女の子にモテてなかったりとか、結構女の子に告白とかはしたんですけど、それで振られちゃってもうトラウマじゃないですけど自信がなくなっちゃってって感じですね。はい。
Anamatsu is part of a growing army of young Japanese living sexless lives. Over 40% claim they are virgins. Even more, over 60% say they're not in a relationship.
Do you feel like a lot of your friends are also like you, not in sexual relationships?
やっぱり僕みたいな人は結構やっぱりいますね。やっぱり女性を変な意味だから怖い存在。
Guys, I don't know what happened to this video. When I watched it before, it did not work out like that. They had to edit it or something. Probably copyright stuff going on. YouTube has its rules. Let's try this other video. So you could because they also have another epidemic, like I said, about men shut-ins. They call them shut-ins. It's a Japanese.
For nearly 3 years, Yuto Onishi's world was his bedroom. He slept during the day and lived at night, trawling the internet and reading manga or comics. Yuto refused all contact with friends and family, sneaking out only in the dead of night to eat. The Japanese call the condition hikikomori.
And before we get into this video, read these comments real quick. Marcus Harrison says, it will. People fail to realize that there are economic implications for not having a high birth rate. Look at China and the one-child policy. Yeah, and I think that ties into what Maria says. They don't seem to be too attracted to those men. No attraction equals no reproduction and decline in population. I think that's what the elite want. And that's what I mean when I say it ties into that. I think that the elite do want depopulation. They don't want people to reproduce, because why else would they be pushing the agendas that they're pushing to basically push men towards this type of lifestyle? That's why they push it so much. These people are sick. Maria says the strong always survive. And that's the truth. The strong do survive. People like this are shut-in, like the shut-ins. How are they going to meet somebody? How are they going to find love? How are they going to reproduce? How are they going to be? But at the same time, that's the way it's always been, and I believe that it's the way it's supposed to be. That's just me.
Once you experience the hikikomori lifestyle, you lose reality. I knew it was abnormal, but I didn't want to change. It felt safe here.
In junior high, Yuto had failed as a class leader, and to cope with the shame and judgment from others, he withdrew into his room. For Yuto and as many as 1 million Japanese, the pressure from families and society is too much to bear.
In Western societies, if one stays indoors, they're told to go outside. In Japan, they're not. Our play has changed. It's all on screens and not real-life situations anymore. There's cultural reasons also, a strong sense of embarrassment and an emotional dependence on the mother.
This group of hikikomori have just come out of their rooms. They're in therapy to rebuild communication and trust. Some have been in their rooms for a decade, so just to...
You hear that? He's been in his room for a decade, living out of his room for a decade. Living out of his room for a decade. And guess what? There are people like that in America right now. This is not... This epidemic, this video is from 8 years ago. People in Japan have been going through this for years. For years. And this is the future that the left wants for America. And I don't see any other way for you to view it, because why else would they be pushing the things that they're pushing? Everything that they're relating to ends up being a target on men or a way to stop reproduction. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but when you got people in certain groups that are talking about, how they can block out the sun, I mean, what are we talking about here? These people don't mean us any well. And when I say these people, I'm talking about the rich left, the Democrats, the demonic aristocrats that are basically trying to ensure that they continue to run this country the way they want to, and to keep people enslaved. And they want to keep people enslaved mentally, because guess what? I'm not gonna say that it's physical change. Don't nobody have to be here. We don't have to be here. But guess what? You're not going to find very many places that are better than America. And that's just the truth. You might be able to visit and enjoy it as a tourist, but living there, ugh. America is a great place to live. I'm just saying, when you think about it think about what the rights that we have and what other countries are allowed to do and what we can do in America, you can't sit up and criticize the president of the United States the way you can in America and the way you can in America and other countries. You can't do it. What happened to the guy in China when he spoke out against the Chinese government? Disappeared. This was a billionaire, Alibaba dude. Disappeared. Veronica says Lil Nas X. Yep. Yeah, and that's the problem, because then when people like Lil Nas X are promoted, then that has kids thinking it's okay. You know what I mean? Like now it's gonna I predict that soon it's gonna because we know that a lot of these rappers have been gay behind the scenes and like doing, like little fruity stuff. But, I predict that we're gonna continue to see a lot of people getting exposed, a lot of people embracing that lifestyle, and a lot of new people coming up and embracing that lifestyle. And the more they do it, the more kids see it in the media, the more this stuff starts to infiltrate kids' programming and gets into kids' mind. Then guess what? The more we're going to see, these kids acting up and wilding out. And that's the truth.
Talk is a major achievement, and there are
Thank you for y'all comments. I appreciate you.
small victories here. This woman bought her first T-shirt. But the prognosis is not good for most. The longer they've been in their rooms, the less likely it is they'll get back into society. Yuto Onishi has been out of his room for 6 months. Early intervention worked for him.
Facing your trauma is horrifying. It's hard to do. If you can do it with somebody else, it can be fun. And then you can surely see a vision for the future.
And coming to this school that specialises in teaching hikikomori kids has kept him on the outside.
Once you become hikikomori, you can't see a future. So the first step is to show them a future they can be satisfied with and accept.
I just wanted to illustrate that this type of stuff just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen everywhere. It doesn't happen, it does happen everywhere. It's not just exclusive to an American problem, and it's not just exclusive to Japan. This kind of stuff is happening in these societies and these cultures where they're bending the norm. They're bending the norm, and it's just Maria says they have a school that caters to them. Yikes. Yeah, and see the problem is I actually, because I know that in Japan, I know that they can really their systems are set up differently. So even though I don't believe that they should be encouraging this behavior, I will say that I don't actually have a problem with them having a school, because they got to learn how to acclimate into society. But when doing that, you know what I mean? People are cruel in general. In general, people are cruel. So if they had because I understand the mental health struggle. I'm not somebody that believes in being a victim to your mental health or whatever. But what I do think is that if you going through that type of issue to where you've been a shut-in, maybe going to a regular school might not be the best rehabilitation. That's all that's the best way I can put it. I don't think that it's the best way, because kids are cruel. And that's the truth. People in general are cruel too. But when you just when you don't have it in school, you just really don't have it. And I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I don't mind them having a school to help them rehabilitate, because at the end of the day, I mean, you do want to help people, right? I mean, just throwing them back in a regular school, I do believe the tough will survive, but I believe that, it's nothing wrong with helping people a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, did that make sense what I'm trying to say? Like, it's you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way that I mean it, because at the end of the day, I believe in, like, I'm a firm believer in Darwinism, in the practice that the strong do survive, but maybe I'm too nice. Maybe I'm too nice and think that if you can help people and give them a fighting chance, then maybe it's not so bad in certain instances. That's just me. I don't believe if the school is just enabling them and making them think that that lifestyle is okay, or that it's good, or that it's the way that it's supposed to be, then the school is it's counterproductive. But if that school is forcing them to be accountable and confront the actual issue of why they became a shut-in, because they didn't just become a shut-in just for no reason. So what caused them to be a shut-in, then I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Because at the end of the day, I understand that people, the difference between humans and animals is our ability to compensate. That's the best way I can put it. Is our ability to compensate for our shortcomings. We have the ability, as opposed to other animals. Like, if an animal is born to run of the litter, his life is going to be hard. His life is dictated. But humans, we've evolved to have the ability to compensate for what we lack. So if being compensated means, or compensating means getting a little extra help or being in a different environment, that's what our mind allows us to do. Our mind allows us to figure out, okay, this is probably a better alternative than what we're doing. This is probably a better path forward than what we're doing. So that's just what I mean. Like, I think that it's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope, but I just, I hope the school isn't catering to them, but I hope the school is serving what I heard them describe, which is rehabilitation. I hope that's what it's doing, but I don't know. I don't believe in damning them, and that's what I think, maybe throwing those kind of people in the regular school. Some people are more resilient than others, though. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you're one of those people that believe that people got to crash and burn, if they got to crash and burn, then I mean, that's also true too. Some days I'm like that too. So, I mean, I'm kind of back and forth on it. I don't know. But let's actually start defining some terms real quick, because what is actually toxic masculinity? Let's see what some people have to say about what actually is toxic masculinity.
You can feel it when your dream becomes a pursuit. And with vitiligo, the pursuit for your pigment is no exception. It's time you had a proven choice to help restore what's yours. Opsilura is the first and only.
What is?
Yep, I agree, Maria. I agree. That's basically how I feel. Yeah, I agree.
Toxic masculinity. Everything you need to know. Toxic masculinity is a popular term used nowadays to describe the behavior of men that are problematic. While it may sound demeaning to men, toxic masculinity does not criticize masculinity itself. Instead, it refers to the adherence men may have.
It doesn't criticize men in theory. In theory. In practice, toxic masculinity itself is belittling and insulting to men, because you're basically saying the things that make men men, which are generated based off of testosterone, because that's the truth of the matter. Men exhibit different behaviors from women because of testosterone. When that aggressiveness, that pride, that vigor, that desire for reproduction, and all those things, and pleasure, all those things are natural occurrences of men. That is natural. It's brought on by testosterone.
Have to societal standards for masculinity that can prove to be harmful to men and society as well. Masculinity is not inherently a problem in society. However, what is expected from it can lead to the development of such elements. Common traits. Toxic masculinity exhibits traits that are characteristic to men, such as 1. Aggression, 2. Being.
Is there anybody in the chat that actually does believe in toxic masculinity? Let me know. Because I see the poll that says there are some people that do believe in toxic masculinity. So I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts? What are y'all thoughts? Do you believe in toxic masculinity? If so, why? What makes you believe in it?
Stoic. 3. Physical and mental toughness. 4. Emotional insensitivity. 5. Self-sufficiency. 6. Discrimination against.
Let's look at that again. These are the common traits.
Toxic masculinity exhibits traits that are characteristic to men, such as 1. Aggression. 2. Being stoic.
Aggression, number one. Aggression, let's break this down piece by piece. Aggression, like I said, is brought on by testosterone. We're aggressive because of testosterone. Once again, if anybody in the chat actually agrees or supports the idea of toxic masculinity, or that there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, then let me know. Let me know in the comment section. I just want to hear what you got to say. Aggression is brought on by testosterone. Aggressive males have high testosterone. It's the truth. Or they're trying to compensate, but they're trying to compensate for men in reference or comparison to men who have high testosterone. So that's biological. That's biological. So it can be toxic because it's biological. It's not something that you choose to be. Aggression is not a learned behavior. It's a biological phenomenon. Now, you can condition someone to suppress that, but usually, like you see with the herbivore men in Japan, they said that the men were real skinny, real submissive, real, just basically submissive feminine men. You see that. Now, guess what? That means that there is a low testosterone level in those men. That means that those men just don't have as much manly gas, for lack of a better term, to actually produce the same outcomes and reactions. Now, I'm not saying that all men are the same level of aggression. I'm saying that aggression stems from a chemical that is generated in your body naturally. Women have it too. But guess what? The reason why men and women are different, men have it more for another reason. Women have less for other reasons. Women have more estrogen because they're if you go back since the beginning of time, women have had to nurture. They've had to care for the young. They've had to take care, bring life into the world. So the estrogen levels needed to be higher. By the same token, testosterone, men needed to go out, hunt, build, plow, farm. They had to do all these things. They needed the extra boost that testosterone gives them. That's why we evolved the way we did. That's why we were designed the way we are. Now, being stoic, men have to be stoic because men have to be strong. Let's look up the definition of what being stoic means. What does it mean to actually be stoic? Stoic, a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. How is that toxic? How is it toxic to show or to deal with the things that you have to deal with without complaining? Because guess what? The minute that a man gets to complaining too much, now you call him emotional. Now you call him weak. Now you call him you know, Maria brought it up. She brought it up, the great word, a soy boy. That's what you would call him. And that's a great name because that's what it is. Men, you're supposed to be strong. Or are you telling me that you're gonna criticize men for not complaining, for dealing with the things that men have to deal with without actually showing it? And I hear the arguments all the time that we want men to be sensitive, and I get it, but nobody wants a weak, sensitive man, and that's the truth. You can tolerate a weak, sensitive man, maybe, but nobody wants that. If we really look at what you want and who women choose to be with, they're not choosing to be with the man that's crying and doing all this all the time. That's just, oh, I'm going through life. Oh, it just hurts. Oh, it's just so much pain. No, you got to sit there and take it because that's what being a man is. That's literally what being a man is. And the very idea that you would take being stoic as a sign of toxic masculinity is very indicative of how sick this society is. It's very, it just tells you. Now, you can't tell me that they're not trying to create a generation of weak men by telling you that you have to express all your pain and your sorrow, and if you can take it like a man, you're wrong. Or it's wrong for other men to tell you to take it like a man. It's not inherently bad. Can it go overboard? Anything in excess can be bad for you. Anything overboard can be bad for you. But the idea that it's toxic for a man to take it and not show his pain, it's sick. It's sick. It's sick. Maria says that's why they push puberty blockers. Turner says complaining about society, that's not very stoic of you. Who's complaining? Who's complaining? I'm making an observation. I'm making an observation. What are you talking about? I'm just commentating. It's called passion. You know, it's another thing that's toxic, you know, the toxic masculinity. I'm passionate. I'm not complaining. Give me one instance where I complained. I didn't complain about it. I made an observation. Thanks for the comment, though. I appreciate it.
3. Physical and mental toughness. 4. Emotional insensitivity. 5. Self-sufficiency. 6. Discrimination.
Emotional insensitivity. Yeah, I mean, I would just say that's signs of a toxic person. Being emotionally insensitive is not only narrowed down to men. I don't even know why I wasted my time giving that comment. It obviously was a troll. I'm not complaining. Emotional insensitivity can actually be applied to both genders. So it's not exclusively about a masculine trait, being emotionally insensitive. There are a lot of compassionate men out there, and I think that it's not something that you see that's not something that you see in general. Being emotionally insensitive that's a toxic human trait, because there are a lot of women who are emotionally insensitive. A lot of them. A lot of women who are emotionally insensitive, and that's the truth. Self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency. Being self-sufficient is considered a toxic trait. Self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is being a toxic trait. Okay.
Against everything not heterosexual. Men
discrimination against everything that's not heterosexual. I didn't know that was exclusive to men too, because there are women that aren't tolerant of homosexuality. You know what I mean? I do think men don't. How is that toxic? How is that toxic? Why? Some people just believe what they believe. Some people just believe what they believe. They don't get down what they get down. Why is that toxic? Why is that toxic? Like, man, this is just sick.
Displaying affection or sensitivity is taken as a sign of them having homosexual tendencies. This goes against society's expectations of men being attracted to straight, cisgender women only, which propagates heterosexism in men.
That's another thing that triggers me, is that cisgender thing like that. No, I'm attracted to women. I'm attracted to biological women. I'm not attracted to cis women. If you have to choose that you're a biological woman, I'm not attracted to you. Sorry. That's just being real. No, I'm attracted to biological women that were born with the proper chromosomes, that didn't have any surgery, that didn't have to alter their body to become something that they're not, something unnatural. No, I'm not. No, I don't accept that. No, and I'm not gonna allow society to characterize me as toxic, because guess what? I like women. I like women, and I like biological women. I don't want a woman that had to wake up one day and decide that she was going to be the gender that she was born in. You're not that stupid. You're not that stupid. And that's what all this gender ideology, this non-binary system is just, it's just sick. It's just sick. It's sick. It's sick. Ugh. You literally had to wake up and decide to be what you were born as. No, I'm not fucking cisgendered. Turner says, getting triggered over the word cis. Ha 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 ha. I love the trolls. Thank you. You got some real smoke, or you got something real to contribute? No, you got some actual smoke? Or, you just a troll. I mean, I don't mind either way. A view is a view, dummy. A view is a view. The longer you stay here to troll, better off for me. So I'm a happy camper. Getting a troll is like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Like, but do people not realize that actually getting a troll, like having a troll sit there visit you on your stream live, that's like a badge of honor. It's a badge of honor. I appreciate it. Maybe we making some noise, guys. Maybe. Because at the end of the day, it's stupid. It's stupid. And I'm not gonna apologize for saying it. The term cisgender is stupid. The ideology behind being cisgendered is stupid. It's stupid. I didn't wake up and decide that I want to be a man. I was born as a man because guess what? I was born with a penis. I got a penis. I never, and that's the thing. No, it's never been a question. It's never been a question. So don't apply that term to me. I'm not cisgendered anything, and I don't want a cisgender woman. What did you think you were before you decided what you wanted to be? No. Or I just choose to identify as a tiger, and how dare you address me as anything else? You know what? From now on, just for you, Eterna, I'm going to be a tiger. You better not address me as anything but a tiger, Siberian tiger. I'm a Siberian tiger. Call me Shere Khan. My name is Shere Khan, and you will not address me as anything but Shere Khan. Oh, there's Veronica making sense. She said, eternal, whatever the person's name is. We have to talk about things if we're going to get them fixed. We're not complaining, and that's a fact. Nobody's complaining. We're just having a conversation. I just get passionate. You know what I mean? Do I get a little bit too passionate sometimes? Yeah, that's fair. But I'm not complaining. I didn't say anything wrong. A lot of this is to my, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, not complaining. Thank you for your, thank you for bringing wisdom to the chaos, Veronica. I appreciate you. I appreciate a turn or two for trolling.
Common phrase is, I'm a guy. What do you expect? Used in conjunction with the perceived social norms and roles that men are expected to adhere to, this phrase is essentially a justification of actions that are in line with toxic masculinity. Men are supposed to own up to how society expects them to act. What causes it? Toxic masculinity is not in.
I agree, Veronica. Yeah, but who knows? You never know. Just Charles just come out of nowhere. You never know these days. You never know.
Adherence to men. It is not genetic. A single cause for it cannot be pinpointed, since it has to do with the societal perception of men. The perception has been developed over millennia and has been influenced by culture, religion, and economic conditions. Moreover, it can vary across age groups and can also show differences according to classes. However, all experts agree that society reinforces and nurtures toxic masculinity. Several studies have discussed the negative effects of toxic masculinity on a man's health. While it is commonly seen as harmful to others, men face real harm because of it. Adhering to it is believed to affect the physical and mental health of men. It can result in depression and poor sleep. Men are less likely to seek problems for both physical and mental issues because they do not want to be seen as weak by society. Impact on society. The effects of toxic masculinity on society are widely studied.
I just think it's a little disingenuous. You know what I mean? It's just disingenuous to just think that men have to deal with a lot. It's the truth. Men have to deal with a lot. We have to basically fight the world. And just to be men, just to exist, just to be, because of the nature of our role in society, even before we actually had civilization, because this is what a lot of people don't understand. All this stuff is just a big cycle. It's just a big cycle. And even back in the days where there was tribes and we were in tribal situations, we're just nomadic, hairy beasts walking around. Men, pre-civilization. This is pre-civilization, anything that you hearing about the Greeks, any of this, before the Israelites, before all that. When you trace it back to the deepest roots, men have always been in this position. They've always been in this position where we have to be accountable for everything that goes on in society. But yet and still, this video will go on to say that stoicism is a crime. Or it's toxic. That being aggressive is toxic. How are we supposed to move forward? How do we move forward in times like this where men have to bear the responsibility of society, but we're not even allowed to be the men that society needs? Look, if we're really being honest, I've been talking about these situations with these kids for this last couple days, right? Last weekend, there was a teen that got into a shootout with police officers at Six Flags, where a bunch of teenagers went and tore the place up. They tore the place up. They acted a fool in Atlanta. Now that teen is fighting for his life. And is going to prison or is going to jail as soon as he gets discharged from the hospital, if he makes it, right? The day before, then guess what? Earlier this week, 15-year-old girl got arrested because she was slamming another girl's head on the pavement. Now that girl has brain damage. That girl is basically never going to be the same again if she even lives. If she lives. So one girl's life is over, another girl's life is about to be over, or it's going to be different forever. Then we look at yesterday, or the day before yesterday, there was a teen, and two of these events happened in my city. So I know about them. Two of these events happened in St. Louis. So third, there's a teen that got stabbed, a middle schooler. A 14-year-old middle schooler got stabbed in the chest in a fight. And that's normal. That's normal behavior in the black community. That's normal behavior in our culture. That's normal behavior. But do you understand that that's the problem? And what is the common scenario in all these situations? I bet you there is no strong family structure in any of these youth. Any of these youth in these situations, I bet you that there is no stable family structure behind them, supporting them. And that's the problem. The black community cannot survive without masculinity. That's why we're talking about this. The black community cannot thrive without masculinity. And we see what's happening with it. We see what's happening with it. Masculinity is not present. We live in a hyena culture where females dictate and mentally and run men. And guess what? The men still have to bear the responsibility. But at the end of the day, we don't get to take any accountability. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't actually get to take any accountability, but we're still held responsible. They don't let you be a man. They tell you that it's toxic. They tell you that you're mansplaining. You know what I mean? Have y'all ever really just paid attention to how much women need men's help? Like, really. Let's just really pay attention to how much women really need men's help. Masculinity is essential in the black community. Without it, we see that we're falling apart. The youth are out of control. The community is out of control. The community is embracing all these negative aspects of it, and there's no leaders and no structure. Where does that structure, where does that discipline come from? It comes from the men. Why is Black Lives Matter such a chaotic organization? Because guess who it's run by? Black LGBTQ women who then take the money and buy mansions and Calabasas for them and their family, and then go bankrupt because they don't even know how to manage the money they stole. That's the truth of the matter. They don't even know. Black Lives Matter is so stupid, they don't even know how to manage the money that they rip people off for. All they had to do was just go out there and tear some shit up. It's sick. It's sick. But I'm not gonna belabor the point. Like I said, this is something that I'm gonna talk about a little bit more later. But I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, but thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody that commented, and stay on the lookout because, like I said, we're gonna be doing these lives more often. So I appreciate you for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm J Red Unfiltered, and I am signing out.